Back around 1970, Alvin Toffler wrote a book called Future Shock. And the idea behind it was the future is going to shock people. And it was a prediction of what was going to happen over the next 40 or 50 years. And I remember reading a book. I was working
on Facebook
Chicago at the time, and it was quite a popular book.
Normally I always do lives on Instagram, but figured why not do it on Facebook?
Well,
once you're in my process.
Alvin Toffler was really daydreaming.
This is it. When I paint,
but he fell short.
Music. Love music when I paint, but when I'm polishing, when I'm sanding, I prefer to listen to something I could learn. So, a little Bob Proctor today. This painting actually has a little bit like connection to what he talks about. This, to me, it does.
Unlearn and relearn.
Well, I gotta remind that. People need to hear
They're going to be the people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Well, we thought Alvin Toffler was really daydreaming, and he really was, but he fell short. We did far more than what he projected. Now, recently, Toffler came out again, and he said the illiterate of the 21st century are not going to be the people who cannot read and write. They're going to be the people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, think about that. They're going to be the people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Not the people who can't read and write.
This is really important.
Change your perception.
Paradigm causes our perception. Our paradigm controls our use of time. Everybody gets exactly the same amount of time. They get all there is. You see, it's what we do with our time that makes the difference. One individual will accomplish more in a week than another person will in a year. Some people can earn more in a day than other people will in a year. How are you utilizing your time? People buy.
I'm polishing this painting.
That is a joke. Time can't be.
It's going to get scanned.
No
Next
one
couple of
can
days,
manage
it's going to go
time.
get scanned by Colorgenics.
Now think about it. Do you know the paradigm controls our creativity?
Prints will be
You'll find people
available.
say, well, I'm really not creative. Why do we have great big companies and little we creative departments?
This painting is titled Current Journey. This painting is actually
everybody is creative.
It's for sick kids to go to donated to charity. 100% sick kids. This painting is a lot of years in the making.
How about being effective? Our perception controls, or our paradigm controls, our effectiveness. You see, the paradigm is a program in our subconscious mind that controls the vibration we're in, therefore it controls what we do, and it controls what we attract into our life.
It's a level of vibration.
Our paradigm controls our productivity. It literally controls our productivity. As I shift my paradigm, my productivity goes right through the roof. Our paradigm controls our logic. And do you know something? Logic is that ceiling we keep banging against. When those two
As he gets into this a little bit, I'm going to kind of pause him and I'm going to talk about this painting. Because this painting is a visual to what he talks about, actually, which was never the intention of the painting. But man, does it ever fit, and I'll explain.
Look at today. You know, last week I flew to Dubai, and I had a little room myself.
Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I apologize.
Coming back.
I don't know if you can hear this.
This is at 35,000, 40,000 feet, going a few hundred miles an hour.
There we go.
Long ways from where the paradigm was changed by the right brothers. The whole world believed we couldn't fly. They went through logic. Logic has changed. The world believed.
How many generations of people tried to fly and believed we couldn't fly? The Wright brothers did it.
The only difference in him and anybody else is his size. He was a big man.
Yeah,
He's gone now.
it's not that loud.
He changed a lot of paradigms. Your paradigm also controls your ability to make money. That's right. When you change your paradigm like that,
I don't know if you couldn't hear me. Now you can hear it.
You see, you should spend everything you've got and all the time you've got to really get in and understand this concept of paradigms. Because it'll change your life.
It really will. This guy's Bob Proctor. If you guys want to check this guy out, take a listen. This stuff really will change your life in a paradigm, your level of vibration. Everything is emotion of ocean. We live in emotion of ocean, so to speak. People think of positive and negative in a certain way, and he explains it in a really good way. But I think that I can use my painting right here as an amazing visual to expand upon not expand upon. That's the wrong word. That'd be a little pretentious. To kind of help give people more of a visual to help understand and grasp the concept of what he's saying. I mean, I'm a very visual person, so I've listened to this stuff for a really long time now, decades. I've been listening to Bob though only for probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years, but this type of stuff for a very long time. I'll explain how my painting, which I never meant for it to have anything to do with what he talks about, but it really does.
You try and you try and you try to get more out of the day, you try and earn more money, but we're boxed in. We're boxed in. And I don't care how hard you try, you hit those walls. And next month will be much the same as this month. I could go to any sales manager, and I guarantee you, just go on their computer, and they will tell me what any one of their salespeople are going to do in August. And they won't be far off. They can predict what the sales are going to be. Why? Because people don't change much. You don't change much.
If there's anybody on here now that saw me doing this earlier, how long are you going to do that? I do it a really long time. I put hours and hours of sanding into it, and now I'm going to do some polishing.
At that moment, watch the
walls
get
scanned,
down.
so I can give
that doesn't mean anything changes, but now it can change. And I want you to just imagine how your entire life will change as you begin improving any or all of these areas. My goodness, I watch people and the change is enormous. Imagine, the change can be huge. The change can be huge. And here's something else. When you change the paradigm, change is permanent. I have never gone back. Never gone back.
Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's Wayne Dyer.
I keep learning more. I keep having more fun. I keep becoming more productive. Think of it this way for a moment. Let's suppose
your paradigm doesn't change once. We change our paradigm on a constant basis.
You manage.
However,
when you wake up in the morning like that, you're productive.
It's heavy emotion that changes it.
Have you any idea?
Emotion
that was the only
connected with a decision.
How much more money?
Because emotion is one thing, but when you connect it with a decision, you create a concept, a paradigm. You have decided something. That creates your paradigm.
And so misunderstood.
So some things you learn that you made a decision on were wrong, and we have to learn how to unlearn them so we can relearn.
This program,
that's what this is about.
Going to do that. They'll laugh at you. I like what James Cook said. He said, do just once what others say you can't do, and you'll never pay attention to their limitations again.
Very true.
Just do once what others say you can't do. I really don't pay any attention to what anybody tells me. When
somebody tells you that the sky is the limit,
I know
and they're like, you can do anything,
now,
the sky is the limit. You know what your response should be? Why are you holding me back?
It's
you can go higher than the sky, can't we?
I want you to let that represent you.
You can go either into space or hit the dome, whatever you believe.
The algebraic equation for the unknown.
I just made the sky's the limit.
Has a paradigm. Everybody. I've got one. And when you change it, then you've got to change it again.
But if it's not,
you
say,
see,
why
your
you back?
spiritual DNA is perfect. You were created in God's image. You've got phenomenal potential locked up within you. Deep reservoirs of talent and ability that you can bring to the surface. We're going to say the paradigm represents X. The paradigm controls the vibration that this thing is in. The body is a molecular structure. It's a mass of molecules and a very high speed of vibration. Your body vibrates so fast it appears to be still. If you had a Korean photography or a Korean camera, you could actually photograph the energy leaving the body. Your body's in a very high speed of vibration. And
Korean can't pronounce the guy's name. The gentleman that he just mentioned was a guy in the 30s who invented a camera that captures the essence of life, so to speak. He just kind of sped through it there, but if you watch his videos, he gets into that and explains it in great detail. And this, what he's explaining, is the body. I don't know if you can see it very well, so I'll pull it in. So his little diagram here, for any of you who don't know Bob Proctor, it's not focusing. Okay, well, clearly you see the little circle, the little body there, and this head, it has a line going through it. Get the glare off. Okay, anyway, watch this video. This video is Understanding the Power of Paradigms, if you want to watch it again. It's pretty powerful stuff. But again, he's going to keep explaining. I'm going to explain how this painting is a level of vibration. It's a visual that I'm going to help add to what he's saying. This is your paradigm made flat. And it's a level of vibration, and we'll explain the differences as he gets into it.
Vibration dictates what you attract into your life.
This is your paradigm if this is your person. If your mind,
what kind
that
of
little
thoughts
top
do we
circle,
think? There's a
if this little top circle up here is mind, so that's still above here, and mind creates your reality. Your mind creates the man. So if this is your paradigm, all of this, each one of these colors, all of this is emotion mixed with decision that has created your paradigm. Your thinking has created this. Okay, so this is Johnny. And this is Roberto. Hey, Roberto. See, Roberto has a completely different paradigm. All of his life experiences has given him a completely different texture, created a different paradigm. But it is the thinking that created the man or woman. So anyway, let him go on. And I'll explain how the painting is an excellent
we can think anything we want.
tool.
We think thoughts that are in harmony with the paradigm. Now, I want you to listen really carefully. The paradigm controls the vibration. On a conscious level, we say the vibration is feeling. Somebody says, how do you feel?
Vibration's feeling.
I don't feel that good today.
Creation
And what they could
is
say
feeling,
is I'm consciously
emotion,
aware that I'm
connected with decision.
Or if
That's
they
when
say,
you
I feel
up,
phenomenal,
down.
they could say,
That's
I'm
when you
consciously
create.
aware of being in a very positive
There's
vibration.
more to it. It's not that simple.
We
but
choose thoughts that
It
are
is
in
that simple.
harmony with the paradigm because it doesn't upset the apple cart. It keeps us in the same vibration. Now, people are in a vibration that's giving them results they don't want, but they're comfortable in it. That's what you call the comfort zone. They're thinking thoughts that are in harmony with what they're doing.
Okay. So here, get rid of this. Here is where some of my painting's going to come into play. So what he's talking about, and what I'm going to describe here, here, let me spin this around. Oops, do not change your device. Okay, so what I'm going to explain that he's talking about, how I'm going to mention this is a vibration, this is your paradigm. Okay, here's a vibration, it's going like this. Everybody thinks of the vibration as positive, negative, and positive over here, right? So you have, that's it. When people normally think of it, you just see the wave, you think negative, you think positive, correct? Right, that's normally the view. But let me just, all of this is your emotion connected with decision. Okay, now what he's talking about, like autopilot, when you're just going, let's call this line that you see going all the way around, we'll call that the lazy river. Right, we're calling that autopilot. It goes all the way around. That's when you have control. This is when your paradigm, your emotions mixed with experience, mixed with a decision, makes your paradigm. That is what you have decided the world is from your perspective. So this is this is the lazy river, autopilot, so to speak. Then there's points of deep emotion. Now, first I want to kind of explain the negative and the positive. People think of a wave. Well, what about things are emotion of ocean. So when you think of it like that, if that is negative and this is positive and it is going in a circle, it is positive forever flowing to negative, negative forever flowing back to positive. Now let me suggest in between from the negative, there's little shoots shooting you to positive, and from the positive shooting to negative. So positive and negative being positive is not as simple as one side to the other. We are on your personal level of vibration, your plane, your perspective. You are, people say, well, why? I'm being very positive. Oh, I'm being very positive, but it's not changing my level of awareness, my vibration. Why is my vibration not changing? Because your construct, your paradigm, your thinking is not changing. So this is autopilot. Then this is like deep emotion and thought, and it's like, okay, this is going to bring me places. You kind of lose control. How do you get from the next level up and down? So like I just said, positive is here, positive is there, positive is here, positive is, or negative is there, right? So there's things shooting back and forth. However, it also works up and down, right? So positive is up here, negative is down here. What raises you in vibration? Love and fear. People say, I'm being positive. Well, positive is not always love. Happiness and joy, these are great, and they are an aspect of love, but it is true love, which is a serious decision and a serious emotion that takes you up or brings you down. Now, this deep thought that we're in your paradigm on your level of vibration, this thought does not get you up into the next level, right? This is the deep. Okay, so this is the shallow autopilot, where you just your construct controls you, and you just go round and round, because everything in life is a cycle. We go up and down, and there's highs and lows, highs and lows. That's your highs and lows. That's the cycle on your plane of existence, your vibrational plane. That it's not just positive and negative, it's forever flowing back and forth. We go up and down. So there's your autopilot. This is the deep. You feel deep emotion. You can see it's smooth, it's flat. You feel deep emotion in these aspects, but that is not where you raise or lower your vibration. Being positive or negative is not raising and lowering your vibration in that it is, but it isn't. Like, okay, this is a flat plane. Now imagine negative to positive, it slightly grows on this plane, but it doesn't get you to the next level. So it slightly raises on the plane. Well, that's being positive. You're higher than the negative, but you're still within your simple plane. The positive goes up, and you feel great. The negative comes down. It's still your plane. How do you get up there? Well, that's this right here. If the camera can focus in on this is the rapids. This area is not sanded in the aspect of my painting anyway. So this is the rapids in life. So these are the moments where you have no control in the sense of emotional, just life. You feel, those are the moments in life where you feel like you can't breathe. You're underwater. You don't know what's going to happen. Where's the world coming from? And these are the moments where emotion connects with decision, with experience, and you add it to your paradigm, to your vibrational level. How do you raise and how do you go higher in vibration and lower in vibration rather than positive and negative? That's based on the decisions and your reactions coming in and out of the rapids when you can't breathe. You're okay. Has anybody ever seen an image where somebody jumps into the pool and they're swimming downwards, and then all of a sudden it's like they're upside down, and now down is up, and they come up where they should have been, they come up out of water where they should have been still in water. Well, that's kind of what this is. That's how you get up to your next level of vibration, so to speak. Because true creation and everything has to do with your levels, and they all connect to, actually, it's emotion. It's not just positive and negative. Oh, I was happy. You're still on your plane. You're still on your plane. It has to do with true emotion. Okay, well, this is true emotion. I'm in the deep. Well, no, it's when you're lost. Because when you're lost and you feeling like you're out of control and you have no control, where do you turn? You have two choices to turn. You turn to faith or you turn to fear. And faith is love. So love will bring you up. When you're in this moment, what do you choose? Your construct as a whole wants to keep you here. It doesn't want to let you go up a level or even down a level. It wants to keep you here. It doesn't want you to be less than you are. It doesn't want you to be more than you are. Your construct is your mind. Your mind is your things that you've done, and your mind is a computer. So if your mind is a computer, how do you change that computer's programming? When you try to change the computer's programming without doing it properly, the computer overrides what it is you're trying to do, right? And it goes back to its original programming. That's your construct. The only way to change that, sorry for the shaky camera, the only way to change that is through the rapids, through deep emotional connection when you're out of control. The other option, because like I said, there's two options. It's always emotion. But the other option is the power of thought. We're beautiful creatures, and we have the power of thought. And we can, in these moments, we can make decisions, and we can choose. That's the beauty of being a human being. We have the power of choice. So positive and negative is not just a vibrational aspect of up and down or even left to right. You have to think of it, you're stuck on this vibrational plane. Why can't you move up? Because when you get into these rapids, your construct keeps you here. It spits you back out in here. Some people could manage to flip, and those like, let's say big things that happen. I don't want to say winning the lottery, because that's not a real emotional deal. It can be, but it's not. Let's say a death in the family. That could change your construct, change your entire view on the world. And there's some people who can go down in a spiral from a death in the family, and other people take that. They're obviously sad, and then they feel empowered, and they do something in memory of. Or so everything is a choice. One is love. One is not. Anyway, so let's get back to this, because he explains things a lot better than I do.
They may not like the results, but they feel comfortable. Now, this is a process. We're going to go ahead. So watch this for a minute. Now, that was called bondage. This one's called reason. We're going to say a why idea comes into the conscious mind. Now, somebody may be giving you a why idea about how you could change the direction of your life right now. I'm giving you one.
I'm giving you one.
I'm going to ask you to make a decision. It's a why idea.
Connects with emotion.
Some people have a why
That's
idea.
How changes happen.
My brother-in-law, when he was in his early 50s, he had built 3 safety supply companies for other people. He had run them and built them. An opportunity came for him to buy a small safety supply company. They were scared. My sister and my brother-in-law were scared. They were in their early 50s. They mortgaged their house, they took all their savings, and they bought this little company. They were scared stiff. I said, go for it. Well, today that company's a multi-million-dollar company. And they're sort of semi-retired.
They were terrified.
Their son and
they
his
jumped
son
into the rapids, but they jumped into the rapids with thought, belief, and faith. Their decision was faith, and they came out on top.
Idea. Now, many people entertain why ideas. I get a why idea. Maybe I'm going to move to another city. I get a why idea. I'm going to buy
Bob Proctor, if you're wondering.
I'm going to quit my job and start a business. That's a why idea. As long as the idea remains in the conscious mind, everything's cool. Nothing happens. It's when you get emotionally involved in the idea, when you go to act on it, that all hell breaks loose. Now let's look at this.
Oh shit, oh, I don't like
here
this.
Here we are here.
And your construct wants to keep you here.
The X-type energy. You move into what's called an XY vibration. A barrier comes bouncing up, we call a terror barrier. Worry, fear, and anxiety strike, and like that, you're right back where? Into bondage.
Here's the terror barrier. You can't break through. You're scared.
You've got to realize you're
puts you back out, keeps you in the construct.
Complex electrical system known to man.
And
that's what you're dealing with. When you get onto a track that you're not in harmony with, everything goes crazy. This is what Joseph Campbell says. That cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
What is that?
You should never, absolutely never ask someone else what they think you should do unless that person has already done what you want to do. Go to the experts for advice. Somebody asked me, should I mortgage my house and buy a business? I say, is that what you want? Then go for it. Because I'm going to tell you, I would not want to be real old, tied in a wheelchair, or in a crib bed, my mind as sharp as a tack, but my body spent, looking back over my life, saying, gosh, I wonder what would happen if we had done this. I wonder what would happen if we had done that. I wonder if I had listened to Proctor that time and I saw him on the computer. I wonder what would have happened. If only I could, but you can't. Wouldn't it be much better if you ended up there at the end of the road, reliving all those beautiful moves? What do you do? Look, when you want to do something, you know that terror barrier is coming up. When you want to do something that you've never done, when you're going off into a space you've never been before, crash right through that terror barrier. Just go zingo, right through. Now, when you do that, does that eliminate the fear? No, it doesn't. But at least you know what's causing the fear.
But once it's
You
over,
see, you've got to go
when
and
next time you
faith.
face that challenge, you have
Steve
less
Jobs
fear.
put it very well.
If any
You
at all.
cannot connect the dots looking ahead. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. The people that make it, they're going into the unknown all the time. Now, if you're following someone who really knows what they're talking about, I really know what I'm talking about when it comes to this subject. I train
That's why I study this
psychiatrists in
guy a
this.
lot.
I train
Him and
managers
Kevin
in some of the
Trudeau,
largest
your wish
companies
is
in the
your
world.
command.
I help.
Beautiful.
I don't know how many people.
The emerald
become very
tablets.
wealthy. You've
Beautiful.
got to go through that terror
Those are
barrier.
huge,
And when you
huge
do
pieces
that,
of knowledge.
Everything beautiful starts to
And
happen.
then things like Rich Dad Poor Dad just kind of help you put. That's a view of somebody's mindset who is using this knowledge correctly without even realizing it. Beautiful story.
And now you're really comfortable in your new spot. Now you've experienced that in your life. You've already experienced it. Now you know what happens? The why turns into X and you start all over again. And that's how you keep going up. All the days of your life.
Constantly got to change this construct. You know, I just came to the realization of, like, I listened to this stuff for years and years. I hear what he's saying. I know what the hell he's saying, right? Do I? I understand it. No, I don't know it. I have a grasp of an understanding of what he's saying. And every time I hear it, I'm a new person. So when I hear it again, I get something different out of it. You grow every time. I've heard it so many times. And I've sat here polishing my paintings.
That's where we started, isn't it? Take a look at the results. Why did we get there?
I've sat here polishing my paintings and like listening to this kind of stuff and not have the same connection. And just the other day, I was polishing one of my sculptures and it's like 8+ hours. I just listened to Bob the entire day. I went from seeing Bob current, present, and then he shipped back, and there he is in the 70s and 80s doing a lecture way back when. And I just sat there for 8 hours sanding, well, not sanding, I was sanding actually, and come the end I was polishing because I completed it. I think I was about 37 hours of sanding and then a whole bunch of hours so far of polishing, and that piece is done. I started to record it. Anyway, so as I'm listening to Bob, in one of his really older lectures, he mentions how somebody told him one time how, you know, everything is a river, and it's a motion of ocean, and then he explains how he said that we're flowing to the positive and flowing to the negative, and it was just like this explosion light bulb of every time I've watched him talk. Right now he's about to talk about results and levels and vibrations, and there's a connection in between, an unseen connection in between. That's the rapids. This is the moment where it is deep emotion that creates a connection and a change, or it is the thought. And if your thought is persistent and you have belief and emotion behind it, it works the same as just autopilot emotion driving you in and out. However, instead of your construct, your mind protecting itself, kicking you back out into this construct, my same level of vibration, but I'm positive. Positives here, negatives here, forever flowing. We have ups and we have downs. You're on the same vibration. You don't change until you're in the rapids, and that happens through either autopilot emotion or thought-driven emotion. And he's about to explain that again. Anyway, it was like I've listened to this stuff for so long, and all of a sudden, here's the visual. Here's the visual he doesn't have. He describes the little man with the cut image, and then he talks about a paradigm and its emotion. Well, all of this is your emotion and your experience connected with a decision you made that made this construct. And there's always rapids throughout your construct ready to pull you up or down. And when you're in there, your construct doesn't want to let you go lower than you are. But you will, because you're a person of control. So anyway, when he brought out his little man, and he talks about how the paradigm controls the man. And if this is your level of vibration, positive with emotion, and with emotion, experience, and decision. That's what creates your paradigm. Your paradigm creates the man. Well, this is the body with his image of the thought and the man right here. So here it is. And when he talks about that we have spirit and we have spirit's glow, these pieces glow in the dark. They glow blue. This one glows blue. It glows red. The connection that I made, I started this painting 7 years ago, before I even started listening to Bob Proctor. Man, I didn't make this happen. Bob created this painting. Bob created this painting for over 20 years of searching for ways to describe what he's talking about. And like a light bulb, I have this connection with a visual. I need to get to this, man, because it's like, if I see it, I hope I've explained this so that somebody understands this. I hope somebody already out here who's listening, if anybody, researches this stuff. It's beautiful
because
stuff.
of the way we're thinking. So we keep thinking this way, we're going to keep getting the same results. But we say, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. I'm going to do that as soon as I get the money. I'm going to do that as soon as the kids are out of school. I'm going to do that as soon as what?
I'm gonna become that as soon as, do that again. This is the body, this is you, your person, it's the man with the mental construct over your body. I am this big. I'm gonna become that if I, what? Positive, negative? You gotta make decisions.
The results aren't going to change because the thinking changes. You've got to say, I'm doing that. And the second you make the decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to think the thoughts you have to think to get the good you want. Just think in your past. Look at your past.
With belief.
You'll say, I want that. It didn't matter that you didn't have the money. You'll say, I'm going to do that. And you always find the money.
That's it.
Go take a look in your house. Take a look at all the stuff in your house. Most of it you don't need. You know why you got it? Because you wanted it. When you really want something, when you say, I'm going there, I'm going to make that happen, I make the decision. Boom, 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 you get onto a new frequency. You know, I've started, I don't know how many companies.
You know, the realization of when you can look back in your life and you can go, shit, you know what, I had no idea how I was going to do this, and I said, bang, I was going to do it, and I did it. Think of those times. You have to have them. I know I do.
We have a strategy.
I know that I've created
we have a dream
in my life. I know I have.
You have a dream. You have a dream.
I have no ability to get them. And I just said, it's happening.
With it.
And I'm doing it again. So this painting, I'm going to create something for sick kids. It's right here.
You really have to think. Now you're aware. You may not be aware.
Currents of journey. And its whole meaning, if you go and you look up the meaning of the painting, I came up with the meaning of this painting before any of this thoughts with Bob. And the meaning of the painting it remains the same. This is your lazy river where we have control, or where we can kind of just do the things where it's autopilot. That's where we flow in autopilot. Then we get into the deep. If you check out my Instagram, my Facebook, you'll find that stuff on there. You get into the deep. Well, that's where there's emotion, and you have a level of control. You can still move around, but there's undercurrents. It is deep. Some of that emotion runs deep, right? This is your construct. This is what made you. And then there's the rapids. And these are the moments, the rapids are the moments that I felt I was in when I started to create this painting, because I started to paint and create the painting when my daughter went through hip dysplasia, which was literally one of the hardest times of my life. I want to say one of, but it wasn't something that was happening to me. It was happening to a loved one, which was very difficult to deal with. So it was a very emotional time in my life. I think depression is far harder to deal with than things like that. Which most of my life I never ever experienced anything like that. I had no idea what depression was, just what I saw other people go through. Because I had a mental conversation with myself on a daily basis all the time. I was always awesome. I'm literally the best. I am awesome, and anything that I'm not great at, I can become incredible at. And I'd said that to myself from a very young age. I was incredibly shy, and then I told myself, no more. And then I lived my entire life, no idea what depression is, no idea. I was very confident, and people would even consider me conceited. And I'd be proud of it. And people think that's a bad thing, and I don't think it is. And you gotta love yourself. Mwah. Last year, for the first time, I went through a little bit of depression. A lot of bad things happened. I lost my dog, I lost family, I lost friends, it was a really rough year. So it was a rough year on me. And throughout that, I started to down myself. I lost work. So I started to really blame myself. And I went into this whole crazy depression spin, and I'd never experienced depression. So if you can imagine being somebody incredibly confident, and then all of a sudden you're doubting yourself, I experienced depression. And the beautiful thing the lucky thing, I would say, the thing that I'm grateful for, would be the fact that I lived a life of such confidence and conceitedness, even, that I was able to recognize. Don't get me wrong, it was 6 months, 7 months, a year, I spiraled, and I just down on myself. I listened to a lot of this stuff, Bob Proctor, Think and Grow Rich, Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command, Emerald Tablets. I did a lot of research, a lot of YouTube. I do like to read, but I enjoy to do things and listen to audiobooks. But in listening to that stuff, all of a sudden, it was again, when this happened, but all of a sudden it was the realization that it's the conversation you have with yourself, about yourself, that controls everything, controls your reality, and that's what puts you in that hole, and that's what takes you out. And the fact that I lived such a confident life, and then all of a sudden I was depressed, I was able to recognize, it wasn't so easy, but when it happened, it was like a light bulb, and it just sucked me the hell out of there. Because I realized it was how I was talking to myself. Fuck me, I'm awesome sauce. I know I'm awesome sauce. Why was I telling myself any different? That's what depression is. Depression is telling yourself that you're less than you are. And if you are so down in your hole that you feel that you have nothing good to offer, then I suggest this. Simply don't tell yourself you're shit anymore. Just tell yourself you're improving every day. If you are so down that you cannot give yourself a compliment, because that's how low you feel, every time you go to make a verbal downing of yourself, the conversation to yourself about yourself is the most important conversation you have with anybody. You talk to yourself more than anybody in the entire world. More than anybody in your entire life. Your thoughts control your reality and control your concept and control your paradigm. So if you're in a low, change the conversation that you're having with yourself. It all starts with word. What is God? Where is God? No, I shouldn't say what is God, because I don't know what God is. But where is God? God's in here. God's the conversation that people do speak aloud, because vibration, words are vibration. Words are thought turned audio so you can hear. Think about that. The conversation that you have with yourself about yourself. That's what puts you in a hole, and that's what can get you out. When you're in that hole, you're like, I need help, nobody's helping me, I want to help, blah, 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 blah. You're throwing stones, you're angry, you're pissed off. And then when somebody comes to try to help you, what do? Get the fuck out of here, I don't need your help. Well, I need your help. That's our reaction. That's what we do. The only person that puts you in the hole is not your boss because you got fired, is not this problem, is not that guy who hit your car. None of that. None of that. Change your view. Change your view. Let's go back to this guy. Anyway, because I'm going off. I don't even know if this thing's still running. Anybody with me? I don't know if any of you are with me. Anyway, that's my view on depression. Change the conversation that you have with yourself. That's what creates your paradigm. That's what creates your reality. It's all in the
We had a
conversation you have with
lady
yourself.
come to a seminar.
Talk to God.
2006.
It's a conversation with yourself.
I'm a secret.
And when you put belief in that conversation, emotion and belief, you make a decision, and that changes and creates
She had never
your
heard
paradigm,
somebody
your
talk about
construct, your mental
Now, this lady
vibration,
was some ordinary
your
girl.
mindset, as nowadays they say.
She had graduated from university, the #1 banking lawyer in all of the United States. She had been educated in some of the best schools in America and in Great Britain. She graduated, she had a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate. She graduated right at the top. So naturally, the big firms on Wall Street grabbed her. And she worked on Wall Street for quite a while. Top firms. Then she went back west because she was from Seattle. And she went into business with her dad, who was also a banking lawyer. Then he left to take over a bank, and she took the business over. And she built a banking practice. She'd done hundreds of millions, literally billions of dollars in business, buying banks, selling banks, merging banks, IPOs. But she had never heard what I was teaching. And she made up her mind she was going to learn everything that I taught. She bought all of our programs. She became a consultant with our company. Then she made up her mind she was going to be my closest advisor. Today, she is my business partner. And she was listening to all this, and she was thinking of the boardrooms that she was in when they were trying to merge banks, and they couldn't get along. They couldn't figure out how to make decisions. And she thought if they only had this information. So she made up her mind she was going to put a program together. And she studied everything, and she put a program together. It was a phenomenal program that would help people change paradigms.
Everything is energy, people.
Called Thinking into Results.
Everything is energy.
This program is designed to change paradigms. It's all over the world
We've
today.
been talking about that thought is
It's
energy
a
and all this stuff. The
self-contained
craziest thing
seminar.
is science agrees. All you scientists out there, oh, energy, we're all energy. Science agrees. This is energy, this is energy, this is energy, this is energy, I am energy, this is energy, this is energy. When you break it all down, it is the exact same energy.
It makes no difference.
Just
makes no
changing
difference.
because it's vibrating
You
at
see,
different frequencies.
it's your paradigm that you want to think about. It's not their paradigm, it's your paradigm. You make up your mind that you're going to change you. You didn't sit down to look at this by accident. You have been attracted to this, and this was attracted to you.
If you're watching
Just
this right now,
continue on.
listening to this,
Just
and
like
you
mine.
sat here listening to me jibber jabber
I've
all
gone
this
to
time,
schools with this information.
then you're vibrating on a
Absolutely.
frequency that needs to hear this.
I've gone to school.
You hear what you hear when you need to hear it, as you need to hear it, as you allow yourself to hear it. When you need to hear something, the teacher will be there. That's
I
life.
travel all over the world with this.
We just gotta listen for it.
You have an opportunity here.
I'm certainly not saying I'm a teacher. Listen to Bob is what I'm saying. Listen to Bob, not me.
If you really want to make things happen,
Maybe listen to me.
I guarantee you
Happy
this
but
will
no,
happen.
listen to Bob. This
And
guy's
when you get
brilliant.
into this, you're with us forever. And I guarantee you.
I have some pretty good ideas, I like to think.
Look back and see will it work.
Here it is. This is the
This
vibration,
program
man.
is
You're
designed to
forever
change
flowing. Positive one side, negative on the other, right? No, it's emotion of ocean. Forever flowing to negative, forever flowing to positive.
She's my business partner.
We have ups and downs all the time.
And she took everything that I teach and put it in a very organized way. It changes paradigms. Now let's remember what a paradigm is. A paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. Now, when people hit a bit of a tough time, what's the first thing they do? They start to lower their standard of living. That is a terrible error. A terrible error. Never let that happen. Don't ever lower your standard of living to meet your income. Make up your mind right now that you're only going to think of how to do it, and you're going to do it. You're going to take your income up to meet your standard of living. I'm in a beautiful studio here. It's in my own backyard. I can run 4 cameras in here, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
I can broadcast all over the world in here. I was sitting in
Not
my
Ken
backyard,
does.
a number of them,
I was thinking, I could build a studio back in here. I got the beautiful idea in my mind. It's all lit up. I've got the sound. I've got everything. And I'm streaming right to you from the studio. It's about 1,200 square feet. Absolutely beautiful. All soundproof. Top equipment. You know why? I had a dream. I'm living it. I had a dream that I was going to do this business for the rest of my life. I visited Earl Nightingale one time in Chicago.
How awesome is that?
In the early 60s.
This man worked with Earl Nightingale.
And I spent an hour with him. And when I was finished, I said, Earl, what's the real deal? He said, no real. He said, there's no secret. He said, you just simply figure out what you love to do and dedicate your life to it. I got so excited about it because I knew exactly what I love to do. I love to do what he was doing. That was around 1963.
This guy's in Toronto. From Toronto.
In 1968.
He lives in Toronto.
I left my own company.
Travels all over the world, obviously, but
I was earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Over a million some years. I took a job for $18,000 a year. 5 years later, I was earning $33,000. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was working with my mentor. I got an education that you couldn't buy. You know something? I've been repaid time and time.
and you know what? When he talks about an education you couldn't buy, he had 2 months of high school. He dropped out. He was a terrible student. Nope. Unplug my stuff. Get out of here. Come on. Back up, my little dancer. Back up. Dancer. My puppy right there.
I don't know anybody else is teaching this. I really don't. Not the way we're teaching. People often say about project motivation speaker. I'm not a motivation speaker. I don't even want to be one. I think I'm a teacher. I teach people what paradigms are, how they're formed, how they can be changed. I'm on a contract right now, or a company.
And he's good at it.
Writing a new book, Paradigm Shift.
But all of a sudden it was like, I got a visual of this is his line. And he draws his lines, and he draws a little circle, and a line up to it, and a circle, and a line up to it. That's his rapids right here. With little circles. This is each level of vibration. This is your mental construct. Your vibration.
You are
Positive
never
and negative, not just here and here, up and down.
potential
It's love and fear.
You've got
Positive
all
and
the
negative also
potential
flows here.
Anything anybody else
Positive
does,
always
quite
flowing
capable of
positive.
doing.
Negative
But
always
you've got to
flowing
make a decision
negative.
to do it.
We have
Don't worry
ups
about
and
whether
downs
money or
on our
everything
own
comes from.
vibrational plane. Ups and
There's
downs,
one
highs and
rush.
lows. That's not you're going to a higher vibration or lower vibration. You're flowing in your positive
Somebody
and
said,
negative.
where's the money going to come from? It's going to cost a lot of money.
Some of that emotion's deep, but it ain't the rapids where faith and fear are the original core mental belief.
I want to thank you for giving me your attention. I think it's fairly obvious I love doing this. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have.
I don't know if anybody's sitting here watching this all the time, or many people will sit here after the fact watching, but
Check us out at Proctor Gallagher Institute.
take a listen to some of the stuff this guy has to say. Proctor Gallagher Institute, which is not in Toronto, but I don't think it's in Toronto anyway. Chicago or something? I'll have to look into that. I actually looked it up earlier today, but I just don't remember. Actually, that's a lie. My wife looked it up and told me, and that's why I don't remember, because I didn't look it up.
.com for tips, tools, and resources.
ProctorGallagher.com, by the way. Everybody talks about vibration and nobody understands positive, negative, but I'm being positive. I'm talking positive. No, this flat painting here, it's not flat. It's a vibration, right? And it's forever flowing. Negative one side, positive to the other. One side's forever flowing to negative, never going to change. The other side, forever flowing to positive, never going to change. That is your yin and yang. That is, yin and yang is not your positive and negative in the sense of you're raising your vibration, yang positive, yang negative. No, you're in your vibration, and your vibration, you're held there by your construct. Your construct is your decision that you made based on an experience you had and the emotion that it gave you. You had an experience, there was an emotion tied to that experience, you made a decision based on that experience. That is your mental construct. Your yin and yang is your positive flowing to negative, but I'm going to also suggest here where it's flowing forever positive and here forever negative, I'm going to suggest there's little chutes that can shoot you across. It's not, you can control it. You're flowing in the negative, okay, you know it's going to be a negative, but you know that it's an uphill back to positive coming your way, right? So I've been watching this Bob Proctor and this information, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I've been studying this stuff for a really long time, and it's just yesterday that this visual of each vibration combined with the mental construct just like slapped me in the face. And here it is. This is my painting, Currents of Journey. Maybe I can get it to him. That'd be awesome. Anyway, my dinner's ready, so I'm going to eat some food. Thank you to each and every one of you people. Because every one of you who watch this are absolutely beautiful, and every one of you who don't are absolutely beautiful. Because each and every one of us are absolute miracles. A good friend taught me that. I say it all the time. Ever since he told me, we are all miracles. And you got to really think about that. Not only were you the fastest swimmer, and that's a miracle on its own. What if, what if somebody never sent somebody out for milk, and one parent took a left instead of a right, never met your mom, you never existed. Go farther back in history, a king made a decision to save this village and slay this village. Nope, that decision was changed. Your entire family line never existed. It's just a simple decision, and you're a miracle. I'm a miracle. We're all miracles. And thank you so much to anybody who's sitting here listening to me rant on about this stuff. And I hope, I hope to anybody that doesn't study this kind of stuff and information, I don't need a painting, this kind of information, I hope maybe I just kind of got you thinking a little bit, and maybe you start to study some of this information. Because if you feel stuck, you don't know why, it has to do with your thoughts, it's your construct. And if you're somebody who's suffering from depression, again, there was a point in my life where I had no clue what the hell that meant. I don't know what that is. I've seen people with depression, and my attitude was always kind of like, fuck, that sucks, man. You need to pull up. And I would say, you need to be nicer to yourself. Oh, unless you go through it, you don't freaking understand it. So if you're going through depression, let me say this one more time. Change the conversation you have with yourself about yourself. And if you're so deep in your hole that you can't find anything good to say about yourself, okay, I understand that. But you don't need to say anything bad about yourself. There's got to be those moments where something happens, you're like, you fucking idiot. Don't say that. Don't do that. Mentally stop yourself. Just like you had to learn to tie your shoes, learn to stop downing yourself. Change the conversation you have with yourself about yourself. Eventually you'll be able to start telling yourself, man, you're pretty good. Hey, you look awesome today. Look in the mirror and say, you look awesome today. Because I'll tell you what, man, I know I'm awesome sauce, and I'm back to feeling like awesome sauce. And the second I had that realization, it was like I was ripped out of this hole. Nobody can get you out of your damn hole. Nobody can get you out of your hole. Only you. Right, Phoebe? Come here, Phoebe. Yeah. Phoebe wants to say, nobody can get you out of your hole but you. What? Yeah, okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to me fucking jabber on. Apologize for the swearing. Each and every one of you guys are absolutely beautiful, and I love you.